Okay, so let's go through some of these photos here, these new photos. Dan Hinnon is going to be putting out 671 photos taken from the crime scene. It's not meant to be disrespectful to show these photos, but they are graphic, and you might not want to see this. So this first photo is from the master bedroom bathroom. And this photo was taken as the police lifted up the toilet seat lid. In other photos, this lid was down. They opened it up, took a photo of it to show what is inside of it. And you can see there's still some water in there. The seat looks pretty clean. The seat lid also looks like maybe it was wiped, similar to the way that the other toilet seat lid in Rainey's bathroom looked very similar to the top of this one. So to me it looks like something was wiped from the top of the toilet seat lid. Why it would be wiped is a whole other issue, or what was actually wiped. But you can see how very little water there is. This was not a source of water for the dog. There's no way the dog could have opened the toilet seat lid and then put it back down. So they're clearly showing this just for reference. There's a picture of the three of them. Now here we have a WGA, a Writers Guild of America West documentation of registration through the Writers Guild for David Crowley for Gray State. He's clearly the writer. We don't see anybody else's name here. Not to say that there might not be another form with a different writer or additional writers, but this is what we have here. The effective date is 6/5/14, and it expires on 6/5/19. So it's going to be hard for anybody to really try to take that credit before 2019, is my guess. This photo is taken from one of the rooms that we have not really explored too deeply because we didn't get a lot of photos of this. What you're looking at here is the door that leads to the garage. And they've taken several photos of it. This photo just shows it closed. And then I do believe that the door to the left of this leads down into the basement. Now, if you're standing and you're facing this door, directly behind you will be where the slider is, where that rear slider is. To the right of this photo will be the fireplace. All right, and then obviously you can see here that they have a whiteboard over here. Let's take a look at what's on the whiteboard. It is hard to see what exactly is on that whiteboard, but there's an expo. I can't tell what exactly it is. Something TC Future Expo, I can't tell, or EXP on the 29th. So there's something to be there. If you look at the 23rd, it said shoot something, shoot hands, and with a question mark. There's a birthday, somebody's birthday on the 17th, and then Dad's birthday on the 10th. Not sure what MK means, but what you'll see on the month is also interesting too. March 2014 is what it looks like. Here we see more things crossed out by David Crowley. Some more, can't tell exactly what is on these writings in this photo. Some drawings in the back. Garage door problems. And of course, Colin Procknow's phone number. Something that looks like maybe a jury duty notice. Kind of what it looks like to me. Can't really tell. And if you're looking at this light, looks like to the right of it, you can see something that looks like a small little blood spatter. Now obviously what you're seeing right now, these photos are going to look a lot better. They're going to be a lot more high-res when you actually get the actual photo, which will be coming out soon. Dan Hennon's going to put those out there so everybody can look and decide for themselves what they're seeing here, and maybe even help us understand things that we're looking at and we just don't catch. Alright, so lots of post-it notes again. Plenty of room, plenty of space, plenty of places to write a suicide note if one wanted to, or they could just not write one for whatever reason, and then we could just guess that it is a suicide note without any facts or proof. But so I'm not sure where that door to the right leads. But one thing that Dan Hennon did kind of point out in some of these screenshots, if you look here next to the Stalin book, the Satanic Verses, I can't tell who the writer is there, it won't be hard to find, Generation Kill, but the Satanic Verses, it goes back again to this thing that just keeps bothering me about the satanic presence in this whole case. And as a Christian, I have no problem talking about that. And as a Christian, I have no problem saying that it's just a guess, it's just a theory. But here's one more thing that would add to that theory. That they're not saying they were killed by a demon or anything like that, but something very, very strange going on there. So I'm glad he was able to point that out to me, because I did not see that. And so we'll have to look more at that Satanic Verse thing. Alright, moving on to the next one. Here's another shot you can see with the door open. My guess is still that that door leads down into the basement. And that's really all of value for that one. Okay, this shot is in the basement bathroom. And we're going to see some interesting things here in this basement bathroom that I guess was built after Crowley moved into this house. He might have actually built this himself or remodeled this, possibly. I don't know. It's possible it was already there too, but you can see there's no shower curtain. I don't know how well used this shower was or whatever, but there's a strange thing you're going to see here in this shower, and it's going to be in that bathtub. Now, the first thing you can tell about this whole scene here is how dirty it is. So it's very, very dirty. Alright? And, again, there's no curtain, so who knows how well this one was actually used or what it was used for. But there is a strange plastic tubing that almost looks like something you would use at a hospital. So I don't know what this was actually used for like some IV transfusion or something like that. That was kind of the thing that really stuck out to me, was what is this? What are they doing with this? And why is this in the bathroom? Very, very interesting here. Hard to tell if any of this is blood or just, you know, whatever, just different markings and things. But I found that very, very strange. It's a long, long piece of tube, so where was that going? Why is it in here? Was it being cleaned off or washed off or something? So, I think that's the only relevance of this photo. Let's keep marching on. Okay, so we're still in the basement bathroom. Now we're looking at the toilet. This is the one shot that I really wanted police to give us from the very start. I think from the other photos that we were given of this same toilet, it's hard to tell how much water was actually inside of this toilet. So I'm really happy that they were able to give us this photo and put any speculation to rest that yes, there was water in this toilet. And even though it doesn't look like there's any markings or any traces that the dog tried to drink out of this, it's possible that that's exactly what the dog did. It's one of the only sources of water that the dog must have had throughout this whole house. One of them. So I was really very happy that they gave us that photo. I'm surprised it took so long and we had to go through so much to get it, but we got it. So again, you can see how dirty it is. This is a man cave toilet to me. Is what it looks like. It's not A lot of piss all over it. Lots of piss. So that's another thing to look at. Maybe you'll find something interesting here, but to me, and it doesn't look like this toilet seat was wiped like the other two. Alright, what else do we got? So, it talks about a straight path to the Lord. And again, it's not something, a straight path is not killing yourself. A straight path is not killing somebody else and taking your child with you. There is no straight path on that. There's also no reason why anyone who believed in any of this stuff, who believed in the Quran, would rip these pages out. So it's obviously done by someone who did not like the Quran, did not want to read it, did not agree with it, and that's the way that I take this. So, say no reward do I ask of you for it but this, that each one who will may take a straight path to his Lord. So, that's a very interesting quote there. It's a very interesting phrase to have open here, all things considered. This is probably the most, if not the second most, disturbing photo, because I can't tell what that is on the right hand side. You can clearly see on the left hand side there is a bone there, but I do not know what this is here on the right hand side. More pages taken out, looks like, of the Quran. More blood. More everything. But the question is, what is this? What is this in this right corner here? What are we looking at? Are we looking at a skull? This is just for us to figure out, what really happened here. And things like this, no matter how disturbing they are and how weird they might look, these are those things that one has to really do if they want to understand what really happened here. Or they can just guess and speculate without looking at any of the photos like this. So here you clearly have a bone in this left side. And one thing I thought that was a little eerie was right next to the bone is another ripped out page, and on this page it says true. It definitely has blood on it. So we have that. I can't tell what type of a bone that is or where that might have come from, but I'm going to say one of the arms or one of the hands. And considering the fact that the daughter's whole arm, I believe her whole right arm was missing, who knows? Right, so a lot of blood there. But if anyone can help us kind of understand what this might be, what are we looking at here, I think that would really help. Number 7 looks like a bullet that has not been used. Now, the question is, why not? Where'd this come from? Here you have probably a piece of the skull or some type of flesh that might have happened when they were shot, or it could have been a result of the dog. So when you think about how contaminated the crime scene must have been when police walked in there, and for them to assume so many different things from the very start, does raise a lot of questions. So next to the hair here, next to the 7, to the left of the 7, there is a little white piece of something. Hard to tell what that is right here. But underneath it, you can clearly see part of the skull. That's what this must be here, mixed in with the hair. Alright, more hair. Some brownish hair in there. Alright, here's another close-up shot of it and where that bullet is. So, and again, there's no way that this can be the bullet, the mushroom bullet that rolled out of the carpet a couple days ago, because police obviously took a shot of it right now, so they have it. the question is, where did this bullet come from and why? So I think that's all for that one. Now here's an interesting one here. This is a knife, and it's hard to tell from this side what this is, but we're going to show the actual knife and you'll be able to see that. So what was this knife used for? To cut off all of the hair? Is that what we're kind of being told? Because we're going to get a shot of that knife later on. It doesn't look like it has a lot of blood on it. So was this used to try to protect themselves? Who knows? I mean, it really, if there was some type of a hostage situation, regardless of if it was David keeping the wife and the daughter hostage or somebody else. It's the first time that we're hearing about this knife or seeing a knife in the police reports here. Now this is camouflage, so it is hard to tell if I don't believe any of this is really blood to me. And it could be. Maybe there might be some blood there next to the Ontario. But most of this is just the knife is a camo knife. So, but again, the more we look at it, the more we'll find. So this is the back of the knife. So it looks like there's maybe a screwdriver on the back of this knife too. On the other side is where the knife blade actually is. So the blade is actually face down right now. Why it's here, it would make more sense if it was a self-defense reason to have this here. But again, we don't really know. The knife is not mentioned in the 94 pages. So who knows what else is also not mentioned too. We know that the blood writing on the wall was not mentioned to the family for months. So why would the police hide that? And to me, yes, that is a cover-up because they're hiding it. Alright, so they told the family 2 months later, and then okay, then there's no cover-up, but they still wanted to keep it covered up from anyone who was looking at this case, because they knew that it would just raise more questions, and they do not want to raise more questions. They want this case to go away. They want it to end. They want their story out there, and that's it. They're not open to any alternative theories. Their theory is David's guilty. That's it. What we are looking at here is probably the most disturbing photo, if not one of the most, again. So it's important to recognize where this is. So this looks like we are looking at the bottom right corner is that table where the wedding band was found and where the picture of the pyramids was also found, and where the daughter's toys in that tea kettle were also found. That's what it looks like. Now, if David was barefoot, then this foot obviously could not be his. It has to be the wife's. And you can see the blood on that foot. And you can see more hair. I mean, the amount of hair is it's just everywhere. Number 13, you can see the blood splatter. Lots of blood here everywhere. Some of this kind of looks like maybe the dog kind of corrupted that too, but you can definitely tell which way the blood is coming from. It's coming from the living room it was shot. This thing here in the upper corner, yeah, it could be a brain. It could be a piece of a brain or something. I was thinking maybe it was some dog feces as well. Could be stuffing. I don't know. It's really hard to tell what it is. Does look like a piece of brain. Alright, so to the left of the number 13, you can clearly see more dog feces there with blood. So there's definitely blood there. In the upper middle section, again, another bone, another piece of bone, and then probably another piece of maybe flesh or bone to the left of that bone. So again, in the upper corner, upper right corner of your screen, probably some more flesh. There's more hair, and then here is the foot. And we're showing this just because we want to understand what's happening here, what happened. We're not showing it to be disrespectful or anything like that. So I hope nobody takes. I mean, they're entitled to take it like that if they want, but that is not the purpose of this. So we can see it's probably the right foot to me is what it looks like. So let me know what you think, what this looks like. It's a very disturbing photo here. Alright, so now we're at the kitchen island where David allegedly wrote that note. They have another marker here, well, where David typed up a note, I should say. But they have marker number 17. And you're going to see what looks like blood throughout this whole little blood droppings on this wall here. One of the things that I noticed is if you look above the Christmas tree lights, you see some blood there, little blood there, but it does look like something else was wiped off of this island, and that could have been done before these murders or anything like that happened. So, just saying, it looks again like something was cleaned up, something was wiped up, but then you have these other little blood splatter marks. So you have to go with that. Some of the other things we can see in here, we can see the David's cell phone, the bloody cell phone that we're going to see later on. We can see where that is. We can also see more headphones there, and hard to tell, hard to tell exactly what that is. But in the background, one of the things that we can see is that the dishwasher is open. So we can clearly see that here. And let's take a look at the floor, see if we see anything else there. You can see a few little hairs on the floor. And then more blood marks on this whole green island, the part of the green island. Lots of hairs, more hairs over here next to the vent. What you can see here in the left side, the lower left, is that there's still soap in there. So looks like the dishwasher is full, it's ready to go. The soap was in there and it was never started. Now you see the number 22 with a little marker there. To me, that would indicate blood. So we can see number 22, maybe a little blood there. So on the kitchen floor tiles, it looks like at least a couple little drops of blood mixed with hair. There's some more hair there. There's some more hair right there. And a few more hairs above. So it's everywhere. The hair is definitely everywhere. Right? Let's see if there's anything else to see here. I believe that is it. Okay, number 26, we can see here that there is one finger of blood, and a blood mark made by one finger reaching for the tissue box, I guess, or, I mean, okay. So we definitely have that. Not sure if they were reaching to clean something up again, or what it was. Now, a few interesting things here. There's the Christmas tree. Note where the Christmas tree is, because the Christmas tree does move. The dog cage, it looks like the dog cage in the back is open. There's no presents under the Christmas tree. We can see that. And then there is the gun. So next, on the if you're looking at the Christmas tree, there is a Tigger stuffed animal, and to the right of that is where the gun is. You can clearly see that. Let's try to zoom in on that one. You can see the gun there. Okay, this is not where the gun was found, as far as we know, unless there was a second gun. This is definitely not where the gun was found. The gun was found, the murder weapon, we should say, was found in the living room floor next to David's left hand. even though David is right-handed. His right hand was completely missing. And the gun also looks like it was cleared already. So that's an interesting one too. Cleared the gun, moved it out of the way, and forgot to look up above the Christmas tree to see if there was a bullet hole or a bullet that they think killed David. Alright, so then there's next to the light switch. Let's look at that light switch for a second, because next to the light switch is another marker. So maybe there's more blood there. That's number 33, which again is probably more blood. So how did blood get all the way over here? Let's move on to the next one. And here's one of the interesting, very strange ones. I thought was very, very strange here. So this looks like it was taken, this photo looks like it was taken on that kitchen island again. And you can see how the gun is, so maybe that's what police do. Once they find a gun, they put some tie wraps on it, take a couple photos, and doesn't look like there's any blood on that gun. It is a XD. So that, again, could be the same one. Why they took this photo of this gun in this box is kind of interesting too. On the magazine, you can clearly see blood. How did the blood get there? The blood would have had to have been there before David inserted this into the actual gun, right? Alright, and here is that photo that we talked about earlier, where if you're looking straight ahead, then behind you is where the rear slider is. To the left is probably where you go down into the basement, and going forward will lead you into this garage. And if you look at the shape of this, it looks round. It almost looks like maybe there was a head resting, a bloody head that was resting here for whatever reason. How did the blood get there on this reclining chair? It really looks like this is blood on this chair here. How did it get there? The circular blood on this does make me think that there was a head resting here. Somebody's bloody head was put here. So, just a guess, but take a look at that. Let me know what you guys think. You can see there's more hair, and the fact that there's also some hair here, again, leads me to think that there was somebody's bleeding head was resting here for some reason. So who knows? Who knows what all that's about? It's a very curious thing, though. See a few more little blood spots on the side, mixed with more hair there. So that's an interesting one there. I think that's this one to me is, I mean, if it's not somebody's head that was resting there, what was it that would cause this blood only to be in this circular shape here? We're back on the kitchen island. You'll notice the marble kitchen island here. There's a yellow marker in the left corner. We're looking at number 35 here, and it is a bloody cell phone. Blood all over this phone, which, you know, if David had written things on the wall and then grabbed his phone for some reason. So what was he doing on this phone to make this phone so bloody? Must be something. Must be some reason. And so I'm hoping that they were able to match up David's fingerprints with this blood here. Because the actual blood might not have been his. It might have been from the wife's or from the daughter's. We don't really know. And I think police don't really know either, but I think they've done a great job at guessing about these things, and hopefully this is one of those things they didn't guess on and they got right, and we just haven't seen the evidence. Alright, so swabs must have been done to see that, but then the question goes back, okay, what are you doing with a bloody phone, and you just set it here on the kitchen island, and then type up a little note. I have loved you all with all of my heart. Very strange stuff. Here's the actual knife, and again, just like how we saw the gun placed in a box after it was moved, the knife here is also placed in a box after it was moved, and we can only assume that they were placed in the box so that the police could take them and do more tests with them, and the BCA could run tests, blah blah blah. So they put them in these special boxes. That's just a guess. You can see where this table is, and we know that, you know, this knife. This is the other side of that knife that we saw, where it said Ontario, and you can clearly see with this knife that it's a camel knife. So it makes it really hard to tell what is blood, if there's any on here, and I'm not seeing any. And it makes it hard to tell what is blood and what is something else. What is just, you know, the camo painting of it. You could clearly see where these blade marks are, that this all looks like camo paint. It does not look like blood to me. And there's no mention of a knife in the police reports. There's no mention of a knife by police, period. So, but here we have a knife, and the knife was found looks like the knife was found on the living room floor, next to one of the bodies, or maybe next to all three. Okay, and we have come to the final photo here. We can clearly see the whole couch. It does not look like there is any blood footprints on the couch if you look at the center of the couch. So how did David, if true, how did David get up onto this couch and write Allahu Akbar in blood? We can zoom in on the couch. We can clearly see at the bottom of the couch, at the foot of the couch, where there's some fingerprint markings. Maybe somebody was trying to reach out or trying to do something. But if you look at the actual couch cushions, for me it's hard to tell that somebody climbed up here and wrote all of this Allahu Akbar crap. So there's a lot of dripping blood that you can still see there, and even a little blood down here in the corner. In the lower right corner you can see some more blood there. So a lot of blood on the wall, but it's hard to see it on the couch. Not saying it's not necessarily there, but from this point you really can't see it, can't tell. And he would have had to have used multiple places on this couch to write what he wrote on the wall. These blankets, the blue blanket, you can clearly see there's more blood over there. So lots of blood in that area. Over here, over there. So lots of blood there, which could explain again some of the lack of blood that we find on the floor. A lot of that could be wrapped up here. There is the Surface Pro. From what they said, the way that it was found, that if they were watching, if Rainey and Camille were watching the Surface Pro and David came up from behind them, then why does the Surface Pro look like this? Why does it look closed? So, just another question there. You see all the papers. Right underneath the 42, you'll see this is a Christmas ornament that looks like it was smashed. That's what it looks like to me. So, zoom in a little bit on that, and you can see this green thing right under the 42. There's some hair there. You can see a piece of what looks like a Christmas ornament, and then if you look to the left of that, you'll see a few more pieces. There is one right there, and then there is one right there. So clearly looks like Christmas ornament was smashed for some reason. The question is why, and by who, and what was going on here. Just looking at this photo here, you can also see all of the different hair, and you can see kind of by the 44 where the hair clump is, you can see what does look like blood on the carpet. So it does look like there is some evidence of blood on the carpet, clearly, right there. Very clear, you can see that. Alright, so that's it for now. When all of these photos come out, then we'll come back and we'll discuss the other photos and see if there's anything else in those photos that we missed. And still trying to find blood on this couch in the center to show how David actually got up there and wrote Allahu Akbar on the wall. Okay. Thanks for joining, and we will see you next time. Bye.